What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. BDJ Gaming here. Final team in the AL East today, the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, this is a team that has went out and spent some money in the past. They went after Juan Soto. They went after Shohei Ohtani. They gave money to Chris Bassett and Kevin Gossman and Scherzer and Barrios, and they gave Vladdy that extension. They signed Jeff Hoffman. So they are not afraid to spend money when they need to. They just haven't really had the success to bring in big time free agents, unfortunately. And I've always been a fan of the Blue Jays. I like the organization. I'm a big Vladdy Jr. fan, like a lot of you guys are. So I'm looking forward to trying to get this team a World Series. So let's see what we're going to be working with here. So starting rotations, getting up there in age. Obviously, you got Chris Bassett, last year of his deal, which is a good thing, 36 years of age. You have Kevin Gossman, has 2 years left on his deal. He's been very solid for them. Like, he was a great acquisition. Wasn't as good as he was in San Francisco that 1 year, but he's still been very good. Max Scherzer on a 1 year deal, 40 years old, going to decline overall, future Hall of Famer. Then you got Jose Barrios. They gave him a lot of money. He's been up and down for them, but he's really been solid the last 2 years. And then you have Bowden Francis and then Spencer Turnbull, who somebody finally signed. I don't know why it took so long. He had a really good year in Philadelphia last year. They got Ricky Tideman, one of their top pitching prospects. Other than that, not a lot to go starting pitching, get excited over with the starting rotation. Like, this is definitely going to be something we have to work on through trades and free agency. Bullpen, you got Yimi Garcia, the veteran, 2 years left on his deal, one of the best relievers in baseball. Brendan Little, 28-year-old left-hander. Nick Sandlin, Ryan Burr, Chad Green. The bullpen, another spot we definitely need to put some work in. They went out and signed Jeff Hoffman, who was supposed to go to Baltimore. They didn't like what they saw in his physical, so he ended up signing with Toronto, and he's one of the best relievers in baseball as well. I expect him to be a big part of our success in this franchise. 3 years on his deal. Alejandro Kirkby, our catcher, signed him to an extension. Not much of an offensive player, more of a contact defensive guy, but hopefully he gives us some good numbers there. Not really much catching prospects. You got Vladdy at first base. They gave him that extension. We're good there. Second base, Andres Gimenez, they got in the offseason. He signed an extension. Very solid player. Hopefully he continues to grow. 26 years of age. You have Ernie Clement, who's a utility type of guy off the bench. Addison Barger's third base. Third base is definitely something we got to look to get. He's 69 overall. Our best third base option right now is not going to cut it. Bo Bichette, going to be a big decision for the Blue Jays. Going to be a big decision for us. Final year of his deal. Didn't put up good numbers last year, but he's been very good the last 3 seasons before that. We'll see how he performs. Consider giving him an extension. Maybe look to trade him at the deadline if we're struggling. We'll see. Not really much first base, shortstop prospects after that. Anthony Santander, who they gave that big contract to, big power guy. Not had the best start with the Blue Jays. Hopefully he gives us some good offense in this. You got Joey Loperfido as a B potential player. Dalton Varsho, 2 years left till he hits free agency. He's been very solid for them as well. Very, very good defensive center fielder. He'll be a big key for us as well. And then George Springer, who's getting up there in age, 2 years left on his deal, could be a veteran we look to move. The Blue Jays just don't have a lot of big-time prospects in their organization, so doing trades is going to be difficult as well because we don't have an A potential prospect to get a big name. We don't really have a lot of B potential position players either. So this is going to be tough. I mean, this is going to be a team we're going to have to build through free agency. Hopefully get some solid trade offers from other teams to really improve this roster. Because, I mean, it's looking rough when it comes to prospects. So, really, the key for this team being successful is improving the starting rotation, improving the bullpen, and getting a third baseman. Everything else, and maybe trading like some veterans like Springer. Everything else, I mean, this team isn't a bad offensive team. I think we got some talent. So we'll have to see how it goes. So I can't wait to get started. I will see you guys at the trade deadline. So we have a very intriguing trade offer. Zach Gowen from the D-backs for Bo Bichette. This is a trade we got offered. Bo Bichette's not really been great offensively. 1 home run, 19 RBIs, hitting 263. Our rotation is getting up there in age, but Gowen is also a free agent. Do we get him in this trade, re-sign him, have him be a big part of rotation? We're losing Chris Bassett, Max Scherzer. This is a very tempting offer, but the problem is, who do we have play shortstop? Like, do we move Gimenez? Well, Gimenez can't play shortstop. Ernie Kemlet would probably be the guy we move to shortstop for now and maybe look to trade for one at the deadline. I'm going to go ahead and accept this offer because I feel like it helps us long term. We get a starting rotation piece to help us spend more money in other areas in free agency. We're going to trade for a third base. We're going to trade Edison Paulino, who's a seed potential 22-year-old right fielder, and we're going to give them Orelvis Martinez, who's not been anything impressive so far. He's still only 23, so it gives the Guardians a young third baseman. We're going to get David Fry, 29 years old, under arbitration till 2030. He's hitting 310. Doesn't provide a lot of power right now, but I mean, he has a quality third baseman who's affordable and hopefully helps out our offense. First trade deadline, and we're not sitting in a good spot at all right now. 52 and 58 is the record. 10 games out. We look at the wild card right now, and it's not looking good there either. 4 games back. Yes, we still have a, realistic shot at the wild card. We have to leapfrog 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7, 8 teams just to even get to the third wild card, second wild card. So it's a long shot. Let's see why we've been struggling so much. Ernie Clement, we put at shortstop. Not anything impressive from him so far. 246 average, 1 home run, 16 RBIs. George Springer, we might look to move since we're out of it, especially 8 home runs, 40 RBIs, only hitting 243. Not a good season. He's declining in overall as well. Vladdy's having a solid year so far. 19 home runs, 62 RBIs. He's hitting 271. Anthony Santander's providing power as well. 19 home runs, 62 RBIs. David Fry's been solid for us so far. 7 home runs, 25 RBIs, hitting 294. Nathan Lukes has actually been a pleasant surprise. 11 home runs, 45 RBIs, hitting 292. Dalton Varsho, not a bad offensive season. Going to give us another 20 home run season, it looks like. Not anything special, but about where his career numbers usually are. Alejandro Kirk, okay season so far. Again, not known for his bat, so not really expecting too much offensively. Andres Jimenez has not been great so far, only hitting 225. And then we look at our bench, Addison Barger, not anything crazy. Tyler Heineman hitting 328 as a backup catcher. You don't see that a lot, so that's good to see. And then Javon Ward we called up, 0 for 11 in the big league so far. And then Miles Straw has gave us solid production as a utility guy. 2 home runs, 11 RBIs for him. So our offense has not been very good. And we've had probably 3 or 4 people hitting out of our whole 9 lineups, so that's not what you want to see. Let's take a look at the pitching side. Bolden Francis, okay season so far, 5 and 8, 4.86 ERA. We need to switch him. We did re-sign Zach Gowen to an extension, or signed him to an extension, and he's been good for us. 3.49 ERA, 9 and 8 record. Chris Bassett's been okay, 9 and 9, 3.47 ERA in his walk year. We could look to move him, get something back before he walks in free agency. Max Scherzer having a good year, 5 and 11. Another guy we could look to move, get some value back. Jose Barrios, not a great season so far, 5 and 6, 4.75 ERA. And we look at the bullpen. We called up Yario Rodriguez, who's one of our B-level relief pitchers, 3.12 ERA so far, so he's been impressive. Brendan Little, been good. I don't know why his overall potential is dropping. 3.20 ERA ain't nothing to sniff at, so I'll take that. Nick Sandlin's been good, 3.90 ERA. Ryan Burr's been solid, 3.77 ERA. Chad Green, not a great season, ERA over 4. Yimi Garcia, been great, 3.06 ERA. So a lot of the bullpen's been good. Mario Cruz is a reliever we signed in free agency. 23 years of age, 3.66 ERA in his first year. I will take that. And then Jeff Hoffman in that closer spot, 30 out of 34 in save opportunities, 2.54 ERA. So our bullpen's been a pleasant surprise. Rotation's not been horrible, but it definitely could be better. But the lineup's really something we got to focus on. So I'm probably going to look to sell off some veterans like Bassett, like Springer, Scherzer, guys who aren't going to be long-term pieces, and get something back and just kind of start over next year, get some free agencies and trades going in the offseason, and really try to make a run next season because this season's not been great. So I'm going to get to work. We're going to make, by the way, Kevin Gossman's injured. That's why he wasn't on the rotation. We're going to trade Chris Batch to the Dodgers for Dalton Rushing. It adds a good catcher, a potential catcher who we could potentially use as a trade chip in the offseason. So I think this is a good trade. We get Jordan Walker from my Cardinals, who's only 22 years of age, still B potential as another young trade down the line, or maybe he produces and we have him as a long-term piece in the next 2 seasons. We're going to trade Max Scherzer, who's on an expiring contract. We're going to send him home. And then George Springer, who has 1 year left after this, we're going to add him in this deal as well. So our first season is officially over, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a disaster. 72-90, finished last place, 14 games out of first place. Not the first season we were hoping for. Just a lot of down years, especially from our offense, and we got to make some moves in free agency and trades in the offseason because that can't happen again. 90 losses. So let's see why we struggled so much. So let's start with the pitching rotation. Zach Gallen, who we signed that extension, solid first year, half season with the Blue Jays. 10-14, ERA under 4. I'll take that. Jose Barrios had a down year, 4.32 ERA. Bolden Francis didn't really have the greatest year. If he was a fifth star, that'd be one thing. 7.13, 4.38 ERA. Kevin Gossman had a great year, 12-6, 3.36 ERA. Do we look to move him in the offseason? We'll see. And then we look at our bullpen. Looks like we had a starter injured. Yariel Rodriguez had a bad second half. He had a great first half, but ERA went up a whole 1.5 in the second half, 4.67. Ricky Tideman, who was pitching well in AAA, we ended up calling up, not really providing much out of the pen. Brendan Little had a solid year, 3.28 ERA. Nick Sandlin as well was great, 3.51. Ryan Burr had a bad second half, 4.76 earned run average. Chad Green, who's due for free agency, didn't really have a good walk year, 4.48 ERA. Yimi Garcia had a down year, 4.27 ERA. Mario Cruz, our rookie, fantastic first season. 10-5 record, 21 holds, 3.05 ERA. Can't ask much more from that out of a rookie. And then Jeff Hoffman saved 40 games. ERA went up a lot in the second half, though. So overall, pitching-wise, a lot of down seasons, especially out of the bullpen. Our bullpen looked great at the trade deadline. But, man, a lot of these guys really struggled in the second half. So bullpen's definitely something we got to look at in the offseason. So let's take a look at the offense. Miles Straw did not provide hardly anything offensively. 4 home runs, 25 RBIs, only hit 198. Ernie Clement didn't provide much offensively either. Only 3 home runs, 26 runs driven in. Vladdy, not a bad year. 23 home runs, 79 RBIs, but definitely not what we're used to seeing from Vladdy. Hopefully next year is where he has a better season. Not that his numbers are bad, but the power definitely went down. Anthony Santander, I'll take that. 32 home runs, 94 runs driven in. David Fry gave us good production as well. 17 home runs, 47 RBIs, hit 309. Dalton Varsho, 19 home runs, 64 runs driven in, about where his career numbers usually are. Alejandro Kirk, not much offensively, but again, I'm not really expecting much offensively from him. But he had a season that made his potential and overall grow, so that's what you want to see. Dalton Rushing got the call up, had an okay sample size. I mean, he hit 263. And then Jordan Walker, not the best season. Hopefully he's a good piece going forward. Maybe we look to trade, Rushing and Walker together and get a big piece. We'll see. Addison Varger, about where his numbers were last year. Went up a little bit, but still about pretty identical. Nathan Lukes gave us good production. 13 home runs out of him off the bench. Leo Jimenez hit 429, 9 for 21 in a small sample size, so that's what you want to see. Will Wagner didn't even play. So this team just had a lot of down years, a lot of underperformance, and we got to go in this offseason aggressive. Again, this is a team that's not been afraid to spend money. We'll see what our cap budget is. We'll definitely be making some moves. I'll see you guys at the start of next season. So we've made a few trades this offseason. Figured I'd show you guys. We've got Tyler O'Neill from the Orioles for Jose Barrios and Anthony Santander. So we get Tyler O'Neill home in Canada, and then we send Anthony Santander back to the team he spent his entire career with before he got here, the Baltimore Orioles. And we also acquired Hunter Brown and Mauricio Dubon from the Astros for Kevin Gossman, Dalton Rushing, and Jordan Walker. We had an ace in Hunter Brown. We had a good utility guy. So we get a cheaper left fielder in Tyler O'Neill, and then we get an ace and a utility guy who really helped out our team so far. Start the second season, we made some moves. Now, we went after a lot of free agents. A lot of them did not want to sign here, and we had to make some trades. Obviously, you guys saw the Hunter Brown trade. We signed 2 free agent starting pitchers. Aaron Savali's coming off a solid year in Milwaukee, 3.52 ERA. We really tried to go for some of the bigger fish starting pitchers in free agency, but we just couldn't get him. They signed elsewhere. We don't really have the prospect capital after trading Walker and rushing to go out and get a big-time name after getting Hunter Brown. We also signed Tyler Wells. Didn't have the best year last year in Baltimore. They non-tendered him. Figure why not take a chance on him? So he'll be our fourth starter. And then Bowden Francis will be our fifth starter. So is this a starting rotation that's really that elite? No. May we look to get somebody at the deadline if somebody good becomes available. We could actually get him in a trade. But we'll see how the starting rotation performs. We signed a lot of bullpen arms. Emilio Pagan coming off a really good year in Cincinnati. 1 year, $7.8 million for him. We signed Ryan Stanek to a 1-year deal. Also coming off a really good year in New York last year, 3.04 ERA. And then Gregory Soto, who was interested in signing with us, who also had a great year in Baltimore. So we had 3 relievers of this pen. We'll see how they perform. Our bullpen really struggled last year. We went for some of the big names like Ryan Helsley and other guys. They did not want to come. They had like an 8% interest in even signing here. We're going through it just like the Blue Jays in real life are going through. A lot of free agents just said, "No, we don't want to go there." Jeff Hoffman will still be our closer. Catcher, we'll see who the backup catcher ends up being. It'll probably be Ali Sanchez if I had to guess, or maybe there's somebody in free agency we could pick up still to do that. First base, we got Vladdy. Second base, Andres Gimenez. Third base, we got David Fry. Shortstop, we went out and signed Willie Castro, who's come off a really solid year, 16 home runs, 53 RBI. We signed to a 5-year deal. Utility guy as well, could play all over the diamond. And then left field, we got Tyler O'Neill in the trade. David Snyder's now healthy. He only played 3 games last year. Center field, we got Dalton Varsho. And then right field, we signed Alec Burleson, who we'll see how he does. He had 291 last year, was non-tendered by the Cardinals. I still don't get why that's a thing in this game. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot to like about this team. Are we going to lose 90 games again? I hope not. Are we going to win 90 games? I don't know. But we definitely made moves to improve what we needed to. So I might go out and sign a few free agents who are left just to improve our roster a little bit, like get a backup catcher. But other than that, I think we're ready to go. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at our second trade deadline. And we are sitting in a better spot 100% than last year. 3 games out of first place, 61-48 the record. So just fantastic bounce back season. We are in the first place in the wild card, 5 games up on the Rangers. So it looks like unless we just have a dramatic fall off in the second half, we are going to make the playoffs. Let's see why we've been performing so well. So starting off with the rotation, Zach Gallen, down year so far, 7.9 record, 4.42 ERA so far. Aaron Savali's been bad, ERA close to 5. Tyler Wells has been solid for us, 7-4, 3.95 ERA. Bowden Francis, 2.65 ERA, 10-6 record. And then Hunter Brown, about where he was last year, 7-6 ERA, just under 4. So rotation, not horrible. I mean, it could be better, but it's not as bad as, I thought it could be. Brendan Little, sheesh, down year. After being fantastic last year, he has just been dreadful. ERA close to 7. Yariel Rodriguez has been lights out, 2.35 ERA so far. Mario Cruz has been a great acquisition for us in our first free agency, 3.31 ERA. Ryan Stanek was a great free agent acquisition so far. I almost said free, 0.45 ERA, 2.45 ERA. I wish he pitched for free. And he's been good. Gregory Soto, not so much. ERA over 5 so far. Emilio Pagan's been fantastic, 2.51 ERA. Nick Sandlin, a guy who's been solid his whole career, continues to be another good season here, 3.50 ERA. Then Jeff Hoffman in the closer spot, 30 out of 34, and save opportunities 3.31 or 3.13 ERA, on the season. So our bullpen's been good. Don't really need to go out and upgrade that. Besides Soto and Little, I mean, I guess you can go out and get an arm or maybe call somebody up. I think rotation, if there's somebody out there we could upgrade this rotation with, definitely an opportunity to do that. Let's take a look at the lineup. How about Willie Castro? Going to have a career year this year. 17 home runs, 48 RBIs, hitting 289. Didn't expect that from him. Alec Burleson, another free agent acquisitions, 19 home runs, 69 RBIs, hitting 292. Man, our 2 free agent acquisitions have really stepped up. It's great to see. Ernie Clement, I don't know why he's hitting 3rd. Oh, Vladdy's hurt for one. Okay, that makes more sense. Ernie Clement has been okay off the bench, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs. Tyler O'Neill, okay so far, 15 home runs, 55 RBIs. Hopefully gives us at least 25 home runs by the end of the season. David Fry, Mr. Consistency, going to have a better year than last year. 17 home runs, 55 RBI, or 51 RBIs, 55 walks. Mauricio Dubon, I'll take that from utility guy. 5 home runs, 28 RBIs. Alejandro Kirk had a better offensive season, 10 home runs, showing a little bit more pop, 45 RBIs. Dalton Varsho showing his walk year, 18 home runs, 58 RBIs. And then Andres Gimenez has not been great so far in this franchise. Maybe we look to move off his contract. We'll see in the offseason. 9 home runs, only 27 RBIs. Take a look at the bench. Vladdy already having a better year than last year. 23 home runs, 75 RBIs. Nathan Lukes has just not been good this year. He's been hurt a lot too. Only played 17 games so far. Davis Snyder has not gave us any production off the bench. And then Miles Straw has been horrible. So we might need a bench bat as well. So our bench has been dreadful. So what do we need to upgrade? Let's take a look at the trade block. Alex Bregman, we put some of our players on there just to see if we can get any bites on good contracts or good trades for okay contracts. So we need to go out and maybe get a starter. If we have anything to offer for a solid starter, we'll see. Definitely a bench piece. I mean, our bench has been dreadful. Other than that, though, our team's performed really well. So we'll see what we can do. And if not, I'll see you guys at the playoffs, hopefully. He rode from Canada. We're going to bring him to his home country. Gerardo Escalona, 19 years old, already a 76 overall, has 76, contact against lefties, great power. We're going to trade them Jake Bloss, who's one of our solid pitching prospects, had a good year in AAA so far. We're going to trade them Miles Straw just to throw in a contract. Hasn't provided much offensively. And then Joey Loperfido, who doesn't really have a future with this team. So we're going to make this trade with the Dodgers. Another trade we're going to trade Everett Kilmore, who's one of our okay prospects. Sign him in free agency, 2.42 ERA in AAA. We're also going to give them Yimi Garcia, throw him in the trade. He's just not been good. He's in his walk year anyway, expiring contract. He's been good in AAA. Just hasn't been good this year, though. 6.63 ERA. And we're going to trade them Aaron Savali. We're going to get off this contract and get Bailey Falter, who 3.89 ERA, definitely an improvement over Savali. So we're going to make this trade. The Dodgers is kind of funny, but this is another trade I think could help us out next year. Tyler O'Neill, who's not really provided a lot offensively, $16.5 million due next year. Is he worth keeping around? Could debate that, but they want to trade Andy Pages, who, in a small sample size, has put up good numbers. Like, I feel like he could honestly be better than O'Neill in this franchise. O'Neill just hasn't been good for me when it comes to production in franchise. Maybe Andy Pages gives a little bit more. He's younger, 5 years younger than O'Neill, and he's around the same overall, so we're going to make this trade. Some league leaders. Vladdy led the league in batting average with a 319. Excellent to see that. And then he won a batting title. So Vladdy with a big offensive season. Unfortunately, we had some injuries to some of our new acquisitions. Bailey Falter's out 2 to 3 weeks. If we get a long run in the playoffs, maybe he's back in time, but that's a big loss for our rotation. And then we also lost Andy Pages for the season. And, he was actually producing well for us. 1 to 2 months with a broken arm. So that's a huge loss for our offense. Hopefully, Escalano and Burleson can step up. With Burleson had a great offensive season, as you see. So we end up winning 90 games. We finished in second place. Red Sox won 96 games. We finished first in the wild card. Yankees right behind us. So let's see how everybody did before we get this playoff run going. So Willie Castro, 24 home runs, drove in 75 RBIs, a career season for him. What a free agent acquisition. And how about Burley? 26 home runs, drove in 95 RBIs. Just incredible season for him. And then Vladdy, 29 home runs, drove in 102, more like the numbers we're used to seeing from Vladdy. And then Gerardo Escalona hit 306, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. David Fry with 28 home runs, 83 RBIs. Mauricio Dubon gave us solid production, utility role, 6 home runs, 54 RBIs. Alejandro Kirk, 13 home runs, showing a little bit more pop. Dalton Varsho in his walk year gave us a good season. 28 home runs, drove in 92, a career high. Andres Gimenez, better than last year, and he had a better second half of the season, so that's great to see. And then we look at our bench. Ernie Clement, okay season off the bench, 6 home runs, drove in 31, hit 256. Addison Barger didn't give us much production. Davis Snyder, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. And then Riley Adams, which I didn't realize we didn't have a backup catcher at the beginning of the season. I guess Dubon was our backup catcher. He can play every other position. But Riley Adams, we ended up calling up, hit 286 in a small sample size. So we take a look at the rotation. Hunter Brown, I'll take that. 10-8, 3.92 ERA. Is the ace numbers? No, but still not a bad season overall. Zach Gallen, about identical numbers to Hunter Brown, 3.99 ERA, 12-11 record. Bowden Francis was excellent, 12-9, 2.79 ERA. Tyler Wells, I'll take that, 10-6 ERA under 4. And then Ricky Tideman, who's taken over our rotation, was dreadful, 7.51 ERA. Yariel Rodriguez, I'll take that, 3.06 ERA. Mario Cruz, another good season for him, ERA of 3.39. Ryan Stanek with an ERA under 4. Gregory Soto had a better second half, but still a high ERA on the season of 4.76. Brendan Little had a better second half, 4.80 ERA to finish the season. Emilio Pagan, solid year overall, 3.46. Nick Sandlin, 3.85. And then Jeff Hoffman had a bad second half, but saved 40 games. So bullpen was lights out. Rotation besides Tideman was solid. So we got to get this postseason underway. Let's do it. Get this postseason underway. We're facing the Yankees in the wild card. So let's do it. Quick manage. Game 1 in Toronto. It's going to be a tough series right here against the New York Yankees. Hunter Brown on the mound. Here we go. Leadoff double by Bellinger. A walk. Fly out, ground out. So we get out of the first inning unscathed. Back-to-back singles. We do not score. Strikes out the side in the second inning. Max Fried looking to outdo that. We score a run thanks to Davis Snyder. An error doesn't come back to haunt him. Bottom of the third. 1-2-3 inning. Solo shot by Josh Naylor and a 2-out double and a single by Yohan Moncada gets the Yankees the lead. Few walks in the inning. Bases loaded for Dalton Varsho and he strikes out. Sack bunt, fly out, ground out. So 1-out single. Maybe one more inning at a Hunter Brown here. Max Fried still going. 1-out single. Maybe one more inning. So Hunter Brown, 7 strong innings. They go to Fernando Cruz. Face the middle of the order. So we're going to go to the bullpen ourselves. We're going to bring in Mario Cruz. And the Yankees have ran themselves into some outs, but they score there thanks to Josh Naylor, who's been the nail in our side in this game. 1-out single. And we score a run thanks to Ernie Clement with a triple. They go to Carl Edwards Jr., tying run at third. Sack fly by Alejandro Kirk ties the game. A walk, pop up, fly out. We're going to go to Gregory Soto. Ground out, single, strikeout, strikeout. Carl Edwards Jr. still in the game. 2 on, nobody out. Bases loaded, nobody out. And Dubon wins us the game. We take game 1 against the Yankees. So that could have been ugly. Yankees ran themselves into some outs, and we end up taking game 1. So we're looking to sweep the Yankees in the wild card here. Zach Gallen on the mound, and the Yankees looking to strike early. They do not. Leadoff single, we hit into a double play. Solo shot. Josh Naylor has just been the Blue Jay killer. 2-run bomb by Austin Wells. A triple, and it's 3-0 Yankees. So not a good start for Zach Gallen. Runner gets thrown out. An error. Alejandro Kirk on second. We cannot get him home. So our offense not looking good early. As the Yankees looking to strike again. Bases loaded, and they score 2 runs. So Zach Gallen, just not a good performance. We bring in Yariel Rodriguez here. 5-0 Yankees in game 2. Maybe 2 to 3 innings out of Rodriguez here. Would help out a lot. 1-out double. And a 2-run bomb by Caminero. And let's go to Ryan Stanek. This is getting ugly. Yankees said, you know what? We're taking game 2 in convincing fashion. And Bellinger makes it 9-0. So we're going to go to Brendan Little here. Solo shot by Caminero. 10-1 now. As our offense has just been shut down. We're going to go to Nick Sandlin here. Try to get us through this game. Jorge Lopez shuts the door, and they just destroy us in game 2. So do or die game 3. Man, that was not a good game 2 at all. That was ugly, to say the least. Bowden Francis on the mound, who's been one of our, you could argue he's been our best starter all season long. Can he get us to the next round? 2 walks in a row, but we hit into a double play and we get nothing. Back-to-back singles, and the Yankees score 2 runs. against Bowden Francis. Luis Gill trying to get them to the inning. He does. Man, our offense has not shown up in this series at all. Back-to-back walks, and we do not score again. Another 1-2-3 inning. Bolden Francis has been good in this game, though, but so was Gill. Back-to-back singles, and we do not score again. Whew, man, that is rough. Emilio Pagan in the pitch. Gets out of the inning. Bottom of the sixth. 1-out single and a double play. Pagan strikes out the side. Fernando Cruz in the pitch. And our offense has just not gotten going. Gregory Soto gives up a 2-out double. Gets out of it. Walk to Burleson. Blatty singles. Scott Escalona doesn't get him home. Pop up. 1-run scores. 2-run scores. And we tie the game. We're going to go to Jeff Hoffman. Actually, we're not going to go to him yet. We're going to go to Cruz. Leadoff double. Ground out. Hit by pitch. We got to go to Jeff Hoffman here. Season on the line. Pop up. Strikeout. So bottom of the ninth. Carver Jr. leadoff double. Ground out. Ground out. Walk. Let's see if Escalona, the rookie, can he come through? He does not. So Jeff Hoffman, top of the 10th, gets through it. Leadoff walk. Let's see. Pinch run. Who do we pinch run here? Let's see. We do not have a lot of speed. We're going to go to Ernie Clement here. Sack bunt, fly out, and a ground out. One more inning at a Hoffman, gets through it. Drew Smith still pitching and gets out of the inning. So we're going to go to Nick Sandlin. Fly out, walk, stolen base, walk, 1 run scores, another run scores. Ryan Stanek gets the double play. Can we come back? Ian Hamilton in the pitch. Vladdy grounds out. Escalona, triple. We got some life. 1 run scores thanks to Ernie Clement. Dubon pops up, and Kirk does not get the job done. We get eliminated by the Yankees in the wild card round. Who wins the World Series? The Red Sox. And our second season, folks, comes to an end in the wild card round. So we got one more season to try to win a World Series. First season, disaster. Second season, really good. Not the results we wanted in the playoffs, or the wild card, we consider that the playoffs. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do in the playoffs? Or in the playoffs? Well, we needed to win, but what do we need to do in the offseason? I think we need to go out and maybe get a starter. Maybe. I do think this rotation, if Bailey Falter is healthy, is good. Bullpen, definitely could use another elite arm to go with Jeff Hoffman. I think our bullpen struggled in the playoffs. Catcher, I think we're good. First base, obviously good. Second base, we could look to move Andres Gimenez, but he did have a better second half of the season. David Fry, third base, we're set. Shortstop, Willie Castro. I think really left field. Actually, we could just move Escalona to left field. Really, I think the bullpen, maybe better bench bats. I think we're pretty much good. I don't really think we have a lot to really upgrade. So we'll see what we end up doing in the offseason. I'll see you guys at the start of season 3 in the final season. Guys, here we go. And we signed a big name, Tarek Skubal. Signed to a big-time deal, $41.5 million per year. We need an ace to put with Hunter Brown, or at least a number 2, and we did that. So our rotation, Skubal, Brown, Gowan, Falter, Francis. I think that's a very good starting 5. And Tyler Wells will probably be our long relief pitcher. Bullpen, definitely could use some work at the deadline, but we got some starting pitchers who could fill in as long relief roles. We did go out and sign Dennis Santana, who had a fantastic year in Pittsburgh last year. 1 year, $6.7 million. So that'll definitely help. We do have a young catching prospect, Fernando Ramo, who we could potentially use as a trade chip at the deadline if we really want to make a big move. And then basically, the infield's the same. We signed Miguel Andujar to a 1-year deal to be our backup outfielder. We did lose Dalton Varsho in free agency. But we got Andy Pages, Burleson, and Escalano. Is it the greatest outfit of all time? No, but I do think they can carry our outfield. Excuse me. So I do think we could have another good season now. The bullpen's one area we definitely could use some more improvement. But other than that, I really like the way this team looks. So let's get to it. This video, we're not sitting in the worst spot, but we definitely could be a lot better. 57-54 is our record. 3 games over 500, 4.5 games back. But we're in 4th place, and we're 4 games out of a wild card spot. It's going to be tough. I mean, we're really going to have to go on a run. Let's see why we've been struggling so much. So pitching rotation, Tarek Skubal's been fantastic. 14-3, 2.06 ERA, worth every dime we paid him. Hunter Brown having a down year, 7-10, 4.37 ERA. Zach Gallen's been excellent, 10-7, 3.27 ERA. Bailey Falter's been hurt. He's just not had a good tenure so far for us. He's not been healthy. 4.06 ERA though, I'll take that. And then Bowden Francis, down year so far, 3-10 record, ERA over 5 after an excellent year last year. His rotation could be better, but not bad. Mario Cruz has been excellent, 6 innings of no earned run ball so far. We did go out and sign some free agents as well, relievers. Tyler Wells has been amazing, and we might need to move him. We're actually going to move him to the rotation and move Bolden Francis to the pen. AJ Puck was one of the guys we signed. He's been solid so far. 2-1, 3.81 ERA. Emilio Pagan, down year so far, ERA over 4. Jose Leclerc, another guy we signed. 11 innings, 2.45 ERA. Jeff Hoffman, we moved out of the closer role. He's been great since then. 3.11 ERA. His ERA was like close to 5. Nick Sandlin, can't beat that. 3.19 ERA. And then Dennis Santana, 20 out of 21 in save opportunities, 3.30. So our bullpen's been getting the job done. Rotation's been okay. Let's take a look at the lineup. So Willie Castro, not as good of a year as last year. Only 11 home runs, 31 RBIs so far. Miguel Andujar gave us solid production. 7 home runs, 33 RBIs. Vladdy, not bad so far. 22 home runs, 60 RBIs. We're really hoping Vladdy would take a next step in this franchise, hit like 40 home runs. They ain't looking like that's going to happen, unfortunately. David Fry, okay season so far. 17 home runs, 54 RBIs. Burley's having a down year power-wise. Still not a bad season number-wise, but definitely down in the power department. Andy Pages, not giving us the production we'd hoped for so far, only hitting 242. Gerardo Escalona, not horrible, but definitely thought he'd take a jump as well. Alejandro Kirk, down year offensively. Ernie Clement, who's taking over for, I can't think of his name right now. Andres Jimenez, he's out for the whole year, torn MCL, big loss for our offense. We take a look. Damiano Pelmigni, I probably mispronounced that heavy. I apologize. 286 average. Davis Snyder has been hitting off the bench, which is good to see. 305. Riley Adams hitting 317. And then Leo Jimenez hitting 206. So lineup not looking very impressive. We might need to go out and trade for a bat because our lineup's really been struggling. We do have a hope. We do have some hope. It's not a lot of hope. But if we go on a run, we definitely can make the playoffs. So I'm going to look through, see if we can get a big bat for this lineup, and see if we can make a run. We're going to do an in-division trade with the Orioles. Luis Garcia, how about his numbers? 27 home runs. He's hitting 72 RBIs so far, hitting 272, slugging 531. We're going to trade them Ernie Clement, who's not really having a great offensive season. And we're also going to give them a young shortstop, who I skipped over, Arjun Namala, who's 21 years old, 74 RBIs, 74 overall. He's hitting 14 home runs, 55 RBIs, and double A right now. So we get a big bat in Luis Garcia, who hopefully helps out our lineup. We need a second baseman anyways. So season is over. We had some league leaders. Tarek Skubal, 2.09 ERA. He led the league in winning percentage, wins, WAR. And Vladdy led the league in runs. And we also had an award winner, Tarek Skubal, Cy Young Award winner. Unfortunately, we didn't win enough games to make the playoffs. We won 88 games, 88 and 74, but the Rays won 92 games. Red Sox won 94 games. We ended up just missing out on the wild card by 1 game. Tough luck to end this franchise video. So let's see how everybody did before we wrap up this video. Luis Garcia with 34 home runs. Really a power surge for him. Miguel Andujar was a good free agent acquisition. 15 home runs, 55 RBIs. Vladdy, 32 home runs. Again, was really hoping he took a big leap power-wise, but his power stats in his game aren't really where, Vladdy's power was in the past. David Fry, 23 home runs. He was a really good acquisition in this franchise, gave us good numbers throughout. Alec Burleson, another good free agent acquisition, 21 home runs this year, 82 RBIs. Andy Pages finished with 19 home runs, not bad at all. Gerardo Escalona with 20 home runs. I think if we want to continue this franchise for another 5 years, this guy definitely would have been one of our best hitters. Alejandro Kirk didn't really do too much offensively in this franchise. 13 home runs this year. Willie Castro ended up giving us good production his 2 seasons here. 18 home runs this year. And then we look at our bench. Nick Senzel hit 125. Davis Snyder had a good year to end it. 8 home runs, 27 RBIs at 270. Riley Adams was a good backup catcher for us. And Addison Barger didn't even play. We take a look at the pitching. We saw how good Scuba was. 21 wins, 4 losses, 2.09 ERA. You can't get much better than that. Hunter Brown just didn't really pitch like we had hoped in this franchise. 11 and 12, 4.10 ERA this year. Zach Gallen was good. I have no complaints about the way he pitched, especially for number 3. 13 and 9, 3.73 ERA. Bowden Francis was up and down. He had a good second season, but the 2 seasons in between those, not really anything special. And then Bailey Falter didn't really pan out like we had hoped just due to injuries and inconsistencies. Tyler Wells, what an acquisition he was. He was lights out this year, 11 and 4, 1.97 ERA. AJ Puck, 3.49 ERA. Emilio Pagan was solid throughout his tenure here. Jose Leclerc, 3.13 ERA. He was great. Yero Rodriguez, up and down run in this franchise, I will say. Dennis Santana was a great acquisition. They moved him out of the closer spot with 3.33 ERA. Fantastic year. Nick Sandlin was consistent throughout. 2.84 ERA this year. And then Jeff Hoffman pitched like another guy inconsistent. 3.45. Then he went to 4 and he went to 2. But overall, Blue Jays fans, I apologize. I let y'all down. Didn't get to the playoffs 2 out of the 3 seasons. And the 1 season we did, if you count the wild card, we got smoked in the wild card series. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this franchise video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more MLB The Show content, more gaming content. If you like professional wrestling, check out our other YouTube channel, LTQ Wrestling Crew. It's in the description, the link. We talk about everything wrestling, TNA, WWE, New Japan, WWE, all that. So make sure to check that out. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.